Today we're tackling something huge. That fear, the fear of starting a business.
hmm
It gets fed by that statistic you always hear, right? 95% of businesses fail. Sounds terrifying.
It really does. It stops a lot of people.
But the material we're diving into today, it faces that fear head on, offers a different angle, some actual practical wisdom.
Yeah, it's about shifting perspective.
Our mission is basically to, well, take some of the anxiety out of it and maybe show a clearer way forward.
Exactly. And a lot of that fear, it really just comes down to not having the right kind of knowledge, specific, practical stuff.
Right, not just general ideas.
Yeah, people get stuck on old ways of thinking or they just don't grasp how things work now. So this deep dive, we're hoping to, well, demystify some of that, turn that nervousness into maybe a bit more confidence.
Okay, so let's unpack this. That 95% number, it hangs over everything.
It does.
But our source pushes back on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How does it suggest we should think about that statistic?
It's a really important point. The source argues that, look, if you have real knowledge, if you actually understand the business environment today, that fear, it shrinks significantly.
So it's not inevitable failure for everyone.
Not at all. It points out that, even businesses doing pretty well, say 10 million or 100 million about in revenue, might still be running on fumes knowledge-wise.
Interesting. So revenue isn't everything.
No, they might be stuck thinking they need, I don't know, many employees, or they have to own factories, or be an OEM, making stuff for other brands at high volume.
The old industrial model kind of thinking.
Exactly. And that kind of thinking, the source says, that's often what leads to trouble, regardless of size. It contributes to those failure stats, but it's failure based on, well, outdated or incomplete information.
Got it. So it's not just about having knowledge, it's about the right knowledge. Overcoming fear with that specific insight.
Precisely. Your fear can be overcome with the right knowledge. That's the core idea. And part of that knowledge is knowing how to start smart.
How so?
Well, the presenter talks about their own start, maybe 7 to 8 years ago. It was very small, just them and one secretary.
Wow, really small.
Yeah. The goal wasn't this massive investment. It was about mastering their own skills first.
Okay.
Specifically, trying not to become just a day-to-day manager right away, focusing on what they could actually control, skills they could hone, investing in a way that felt, manageable, sustainable.
Starting small, controlling what you can, mastering a skill that feels much less daunting. And that seems to lead right into the core principles our source lays out. There are three main ones, right?
That's right. 3 key ideas. Let's start with number 1, control your costs.
Okay.
This is a classic mistake. People jump in, maybe invest millions, without really having a solid handle on where the money will come from.
Yeah, I can see that happening easily. Excitement takes over.
Totally. And then what happens? Money is just flowing out every day. Constant pressure. Gotta find customers. Gotta make sales now just to stop the bleeding.
Stressful.
Hugely. So the advice is critical. You must invest in a way you can control. If you know where your profit comes from and you keep those initial costs low, then you will already be profitable, or at least you're not starting deep in the red.
Right. It's about building runway, not digging a hole. Minimizing that financial panic from day one.
Exactly. It takes away a huge layer of fear.
Okay, so controlling costs is foundational. What's the next big piece, according to the source?
Principle 2, know where your money comes from, identify demand. This is super important.
Succeed.
It means you absolutely must know where your money will come from. You need to develop a smell for what people actually need or want.
A nose for the market.
Yeah. And crucially, the source says, don't start with your needs, start with other people's needs. You're solving their problems.
That's a key shift. It's not about what I want to sell, but what they need to buy.
Precisely. But then it adds another layer. It says also start from your love.
Oh, interesting. How does that fit?
It means do what you love and sell what you like. Find that intersection. Because when you're genuinely passionate about your product or service,
You sell it better?
you will sell it easily, is how the source puts it. Your own excitement comes through. It's infectious. It inspires people. So it's passion plus market need.
Okay. Passion fuels the engine, but demand steers the car.
Good way to put it. And you have to keep tuning your nose or ears,
Wow.
always listening for problems people are facing. The presenter even uses this audio we're discussing as an example.
How so?
They made it because they saw this fear, this problem of starting a business among their audience. Demand identified, solution created.
Practicing what they preach. Okay, so
Yeah.
control costs. Find real demand that aligns with your passion. That sounds like a solid foundation.
Hmm.
But lots of people have great ideas and low costs, but they still struggle. They freeze up when it comes to actually selling it.
And that brings us perfectly to principle 3. Be the cause of sales.
This sounds critical.
It is. The source is really direct here. The number one reason businesses fail, they don't know how to sell. Or maybe even worse, they hate selling.
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one for many founders. They're builders, maybe, not salespeople.
Right. And the advice is blunt. If you really don't like selling, you might need to, well, change professions or find a very skilled partner in sales, someone you absolutely trust.
Find your sales co-founder, basically.
Essentially. Now, the source also makes a distinction between selling, like a one-to-one thing, and marketing, which is more one-to-many, mass selling.
Okay.
The presenter, for example, leans heavily on personal branding and marketing. They build things up so well that customers kind of already want to buy before they even talk to anyone.
So the selling becomes more like order taking or facilitation.
Exactly. The employees mostly facilitate the purchase. That's the ideal, using marketing effectively.
But not everyone can achieve that right away.
True. But the fundamental point remains. Ultimately, you must be the cause of sales, whether that's through your personal brand making people want to buy from you or through developing actual selling skills. You have to drive revenue. It's non-negotiable for survival.
That's a really clear, hard truth. Okay, so those are the 3 core pillars. What about other common fears, like where do I get the money, the investment capital? That stops people cold.
Yeah, it's a big one. But the source offers a bit of reassurance here. It suggests that fear often comes from not really finding enough opportunities.
Meaning the opportunities are there, but people aren't seeing them.
Kind of. It states pretty confidently there are plenty of people who want to invest money in businesses, especially if they see real passion and good management potential. The perspective is that finding capital is not that difficult if you've built something genuinely compelling.
So focus on building the value first, and the investment becomes easier to find.
That seems to be the message. Don't let the fear of finding money stop you from creating something worth funding.
Yeah, another common belief is needing formal business education. Like, I can't start until I get my MBA. What's the take on that?
Oh, the source has a very strong viewpoint here. Basically, you don't need to think you must get an MBA.
Really? Challenges the whole system.
It does. It points out that, hey, a lot of MBA grads end up working for other people anyway, not starting their own things.
Good point.
The advice, just start working in the real world, get practical experience. It even suggests, look, start small. An online business you run after hours, after your day job, costs can be very low.
So the barrier to entry is lower than people think.
Much lower. And it circles back again. Control costs to be as low as possible. That minimizes the fear, lets you learn by doing without betting the farm.
That practical approach definitely feels less intimidating. Now, shifting gears slightly, what about team size? There's this old idea that more employees equals more success, right? Bigger is better.
Yeah, another traditional notion the source pushes back against. It's all about efficiency and effectiveness, not just headcount.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. The presenter mentions their own company has just over 10 employees, maybe 11 people. And here's the kicker. They're all self-managing.
Wow. Self-managing.
Yeah, which means there's basically no need for constant day-to-day management from the top. It's about systems and autonomy, not just supervision.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
It is. And to drive the point home, they bring up Warren Buffett. His company manages, tens of billions of dollars?
Yeah, huge amounts.
With very few people at the core. And this structure, this efficiency, allows Buffett to basically do what he loves all day, like reading for hours.
Living the dream.
It's presented as an example of someone who has a choice because they built an efficient, effective system, not just a big, cumbersome organization.
That's a powerful illustration of a different way to build. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Controlling costs, finding demand, selling, overcoming money fears, real-world learning, efficiency.